Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to live Storytime. My name is Miss Mary, and I am so happy to be with you today and sharing stories with you again this week. And as always, I give a few minutes to have some people arrive. This week, I am going to be reading stories by Carle and by Lois Ehlert, two absolute legends of children's literature and children's illustration who we lost last week. So I thought sometimes themes fall right into your lap unexpectedly. And so I am going to read some familiar ones I think that everyone knows, but also some that are lesser known, but still as wonderful. So if you are tuning in, please say hello in the comments, and I'll be sure to give you a good shout out. Just a couple of shout out reminders. If you've been here before, you know, but a couple of shout out reminders that if there is a bit of a delay with the comments. So if I don't see your comment right away, it's not that I'm ignoring you, I promise. It's just there is a bit of a delay between you typing it and me seeing it. So, also, if I am in the middle of a story, I wait until the end of that story to give the shout out, just because it doesn't interrupt the story flow and everything. So please say hello if you have joined me today. I know it is a beautiful day and we had some yucky weather over the weekend, so I don't blame you if you are outside playing. Again, this week's theme is dedicated to the works of Carle and Lois Ehlert, two absolute legends who I've used in story times since I became a librarian back in 2004. So I hope you enjoy the stories today. I am going to start off with one by Carle that is not what you're thinking. But I love this story. And this is called The Tiny Seed by Carle. Again, if you are here, please say hello in the comments, and I will be sure to give you a shout out as soon as I'm done with The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So there's our tiny seed. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Okay, so here he is. He's still here. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Yep, they're all up here, and he's back here. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Okay, so they're all up here, right? But here's our tiny seed. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Okay, here it is, flying low, but still flying. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed, but the tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft, white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It really is spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Here he is. He's a little bit behind, but he's getting there. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on, and it does not stop. The sun shines on it, and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is giant. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pops open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. And you guessed it, it will begin again. And those seeds will take a journey and land somewhere and plant and grow in the seasons to come. So that was The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. Again, welcome to Live Storytime. My name is Miss Mary. Please say hello in the chat if you'd like to get a shout out. Today I am reading books that were written and illustrated by Eric Carle and Lois Ehlert, 2 children's book authors who we sadly lost last week, but what a legacy they left behind of amazing books. And, and they're both They're both very different artists, but what's cool about both of them is that they were both collage illustrators. So they both used collage to make their illustrations in their picture books. So even though the art was very different, they used the same style. So very cool. Hi, Amy. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this next one is by Lois Ehlert, and this is called Growing Vegetable Soup. What I love about a lot of her books, the other one I have by her today, is it's all about, there's always a little bit of a nature element and a growing your own element. So you'll see what I mean by growing vegetable soup. Dad says we are going to grow vegetable soup. We're ready to work and our tools are ready too. Have you ever grown vegetables? Let me know. We are planting the seeds. Okay, so we have some green beans and peas, corn, zucchini, and carrots. Look how little those carrot seeds are. You can barely see them. And all the sprouts, like broccoli, tomatoes, potatoes, onions, peppers, and giving them water. Okay, so we have all of our vegetables ready. We're watering them and waiting for warm sun to make them grow. I definitely see some growing. We don't see the vegetables yet, but we do see the green. And grow. And grow into plants. We watch over them and weed until the vegetables are ready for us to pick. Look at those tomatoes and peppers and corn. Oh my goodness, yum. Or dig up like carrots, potatoes, and carry home. Then we wash them and cut them up and put them in a pot of water. Okay, we have broccoli, potatoes, green beans, cabbage, peppers, tomatoes, zucchini, onion, carrot, and corn. This sounds delicious. And cook them into vegetable soup. At last, it's time to eat it all up. It was the best soup ever. And we can grow it again next year. So I love how she walks us through the process of growing a garden. And I have a similar book by her that I'm going to get to in a little bit. But it's not about vegetables, but it is about growing things. So this next book is also by Eric Carle. This is called Friends. Okay, here we go. Once there were two friends who were always together. Together they played and ran and danced and told each other secrets. But one day the boy was all alone. His friend was gone. She had moved far away. I miss her, he said. Wherever she is, I must find her. Then he took a deep breath, counted to 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jumped into the swift river. Whew, the water was cold. Brr! The river was wide, so it took a long time to swim across it. When he got to the other side, it was already dark. The stars watched over him as he fell asleep. The next morning, he saw a tall mountain ahead. He started up one side of it. The path was steep. It was hard work. Finally, he got to the top, and then he slid right down the other side. Plunk! The boy landed in a broad meadow. It was a hot day. The grass was dewy, damp, and cool. He strolled through it. Ah! Then, all of a sudden, it began to rain. Splish, splash. He had to dash through the falling drops. After a while, the boy felt tired. He fell asleep and dreamed that he was floating on a cloud. He woke up deep in a forest. Dark shadows danced around him. Eek! He rushed out of the woods into a flower garden. He gathered a bouquet. And there was his friend. "I have found you," he shouted. "I knew you would come," she said. Together they played and ran and danced and told each other secrets and got married. So this story, I'm going to read you this little page. This story was inspired. Here's what Eric Carle had to say. "Here I am with a friend in Syracuse, New York. I was 3 years old and so was she. My German mother took this picture. She wrote Juni, which means June, 1932 in the corner. When I was 6 years old, I moved far away. We never saw each other again. I often think about my long ago friend, and I wonder what happened to her." So that was the inspiration for his book, Friends. I thought that was so cool. Okay. Again, if you are tuning in, welcome to Live Storytime. My name is Miss Mary. Please say hello in the comments if you'd like a little shout out. My next book is called Planting a Rainbow by Lois Ehlert. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. We have orange tiger lilies, red tulips, orange tulips, yellow daffodils, blue hyacinths, purple crocus, and purple bearded iris. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. Phlox, morning glories, zinnias, asters, cornflowers, marigolds, and daisies. Daisies are Miss Mary's favorite flower. We wait for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. Then it's time to go to the garden center and select some seedlings. So poppies and violets, pansies and ferns. We sow the seeds and set out the plants in soil. And watch the rainbow grow. Okay, we are seeing some buds, right? Some buds. And grow and grow. We have some red flowers. We have carnations and roses and tulips. And orange flowers. More tulips, zinnias, tiger lilies, and poppies. And some yellow blooms like daisies and marigolds and daffodils. We grow something green. These are the ferns. And some blue flowers too, like morning glories and hyacinth and cornflowers. some purple flowers like crocus, phlox, iris, violets, asters, and pansies. All summer long, we pick them and bring them home. What a beautiful bouquet. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. So just like the soup, right? Just like the vegetable soup, they can grow that beautiful rainbow again next year. Maybe pick different flowers, maybe, who knows? Maybe they loved what they planted and they're going to keep planting them. Okay, so my last story of the day is obviously one of the most well-known children's books of all time. And it was certainly Eric Carle's most famous picture book. He wrote so many great ones, but everyone recognizes The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And I thought, should I read it? Everybody's already heard it. And then I said, but you know what? That's perfect, because sometimes we just love to hear a familiar story. And there's a reason why it's beloved. It's wonderful. So let's enjoy The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Definitely not my first time reading it, and I know probably not your first time hearing it. Here we go. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There it is. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums. 1, 2, 3. But he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries. But he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. You guessed it, but he was still hungry. Oh, Saturday's coming, though. Oh, my. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomachache. Is anybody surprised? The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called the cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. Oh, just love it. I just love it. No matter how many times you read it, it's a perfect book. Okay, so that is my last book for today, but I do have one thing to share. I'm just going to pull up the link to it. Our summer newsletter arrived today. Not today, but it arrived, and I just want to share it with you in the comments. Okay. And I wanted to share some very exciting news. We are going to be starting some in-person programs again. Over the summer, they will be in-person outdoor programs, and we're very excited about them. We do have limits on how many people can come, but the newsletter is very clear on like which programs you have to register for and which programs are drop-ins. So just a heads up that if you like these live story times on the computer, I am actually doing a in-person story time next Friday, June 11th at Sean Dixon Park. And you may remember it as Peppermint Park, but it's Sean Dixon Park. Again, that is called Sunshine and Stories in the Park on June 11th. It's a Friday. And my story time specifically is from 10:30 to 11:30-ish. If I get some latecomers, I'll probably do some repeat stories or, the whole story time probably won't be an hour, but we'll also be there with a bookmobile. We'll be talking about our summer reading club that's coming up. We're going to have some giveaways at that event. So a lot is going on that day at Sean Dixon Park, so I hope you can join us and hear some stories in person from me. And again, check out the link that I posted in our comment section so that way you can take a look at our newsletter and see what you might want to come to over the summer. We are looking forward to seeing you soon here at the library. And we have a great summer reading club planned for you this summer. And we are just excited to have some programs again and to be seeing more and more people in person. It's such a great, great thing. So until next Wednesday, I will see you all. Have fun. Enjoy this nice weather. Go outside and play. Blow bubbles, play with chalk, whatever you want to do. So have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday with more stories. Bye, everyone.